and welcome back. My name is Sylvia Willis, and I am a IFAS Ag Extension Agent in Suwannee County. As an ag agent, I focus on row crops like corn and peanuts and commercial crops like vegetables and fruits. As an extension agent, I receive many questions on pest damage in farmers' fields. Today, I'm going to highlight another pest that we've been seeing throughout Suwannee County in our fall crops. So come along and join me. Behind me is a squash field that I've been doing research in. Throughout this season, I've seen a variety of pests, from whiteflies, which we talked about last week, to melonworms this week. This pest is usually seen in the summer months in a variety of crops. Today, I'm going to talk about how to ID melonworm, the damage you may see on your crop, and then how to control them. Common melonworm larvae are green worms with two white stripes running along their bodies and one darker thin line between the two. And when they're in this stage, they're actually in their 5th instar before pupation. Worms will construct a loose silk structure under leaves that serve as shelter during daylight hours. You can see this structure here. This is what you'll usually see the melonworm. It forms a little shade spot within a leaf. And then once we get inside, it's where it likes to hang out. They'll form webs, make these little shade structures so they don't get as hot. So when you peel it back, you'll see. And then in here, it's actually pupating. So it'll change forms. These are little cocoons that it creates. Here we have our web type structure, and then we also have a melonworm starting to go at it. Let me move him a little bit so you can see him a little better. There you can really see his green and then his white stripes. Melonworm feed primarily on foliage and prefer summer or winter squash. If the foliage has all been eaten or the foliage is not desirable, melonworm will resort to feeding on the surface of the fruit, scarring them or burrowing into the fruit. Studies have shown that melonworm can cause 23% yield loss due to foliage damage and 9 to 10% yield loss destruction due to fruit damage.
Make sure to scout your field throughout the growing season to identify if you have a melonworm population in your crop. When scouting, things to look out for are melonworm poop on the leaves, feeding damage on the leaves, and loose silk structures as seen in the pictures.
Once identified, there are both cultural and chemical controls you can take to control melonworm. One cultural control is to do trap cropping, which can be very helpful to reduce damage on your crop. Intercropping has also been shown as a useful practice to lower numbers. Remember, sanitation is also very important after a field is done harvesting. Insecticides also work very well on melonworm since they are a common vegetable crop. If insecticides are applied, remember to apply when the wind is low and when there's low pollinator populations, usually in the morning or late at night. This field behind me is an organic field, so we've made sure to apply organic certified insecticides to help combat melonworm. We actually applied Dipel a couple weeks ago, which has helped reduce some of the melonworm populations. If you have concerns of melonworm, feel free to call me at the IFAS Extension Office in Suwannee County at 386-362-2771, and I can give you some recommended spray schedules for your melonworm.
Thanks for joining in today to learn about melonworm. If you have any agricultural related questions pop up during your growing season, feel free to contact me. I will be happy to help.